Cool.
Welcome to the 12th episode of Profs Radio, the show to A-star your business by learning from entrepreneurs on experience how to solve problems. I'm your host, Peter Martin, Director of Profs.biz, the digital company you need to run your business easier, quicker and cheaper. Today we have Daniel Edwards from D&K Accounting. Good morning, Daniel. Do you want to say hi to the listeners and tell them about what you do?
Good morning, Peter. I'm Dan from D&K Accounting. We're based in South Yorkshire. We are a QuickBooks Pro Advisor firm. We like to specialize in using cloud accounting to help all our clients have the most up-to-date records they possibly can at any point in time. We've been going now for 2 years and growing steadily, thankfully.
It's always good to hear about growth. That's the way that you want it to be going after 2 years. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are today? So you said that you've been running the business for 2 years. Kind of what were you doing before that, and what's led you to the point now?
I've been in practice since I was 16, more the pity. Left college when I was 16. I got bored of that, so I got an apprenticeship at a firm in Lincoln. I won't tell you the name because it's a bit dubious. The bloke there. But yeah, so I started out as an accounting trainee apprentice. Did my AAT in the first 3 years, moved around a bit in practice, couple in Lincoln, went down to Newbury where I lived when I was younger, and then we moved back up here. When did we move back up here? A couple of years ago now. But during that time, I've had my first son, Jamie, and at that point, I decided that I wasn't going to work 9 to 5. I wanted to take him to school and pick him up and do the fatherly things, that go to plays and such. So that's when it sort of started. Then 5-6 years ago, I met Catherine, my partner. She's a financial advisor. And then we had Cameron. Cameron is now 4. 2 years ago, we decided that I didn't want to work for anybody else. So at that point, we sort of took out a government loan. We bought fit clients from an accountant where I was working, and we started our own business, which means that I get to take them both to school and childcare, pick them up, go to parents' evenings, go to plays, go to football matches, without having to worry or report to anybody else apart from the clients, who are, in the main, mainly happy.
Sometimes clients can be more demanding than a boss.
Yes, it's like having 150 bosses. They all have their own agendas, their own wants and needs. But in the main, they're all happy. So
I really resonate with that. That's the exact same reason that I went into business as well. So my daughter came to live with me when she was 4 years old, and it was a case of, well, this is going to be difficult being a single parent. And I wanted to be there for all the things, kind of being the only parent in her life. And so I completely relate to what you're saying there, because what's the point in kind of running your own business and stuff if you can't do those family things? That's really what it's all about, isn't it? Everybody has a dream. Financial and time freedom, don't they?
They do. I mean, my son came to live with me. The oldest came to live with us when he was 2, so I understand exactly where you've been. It's difficult at times, but it's what you want in life. I wanted to have that family-focused business, and that's what we've got. Touch wood, thankfully.
Apart from when you hit periods of time like you're in now.
Apart from that, I should be working till about 10 o'clock tonight, I imagine.
Wow.
Yes. It doesn't happen very often, though, so it's all good. Plus, we go on holiday in 2 weeks, so got to make sure we're up to date.
Very nice.
Yes.
As we know, and you've just actually mentioned there that you need to work till 10 o'clock, we know that life and business presents many challenges. Is there a challenge you've come across in business that you can share with all the profs listening?
The main challenge we have in our business is client records. Either them losing stuff, keeping them in any sort of order. We have a job that's just come in a big plastic bag for the receipts, which is one of my most loathsome jobs in the world. But it happens. It's whatever suits the client best, but we're trying to help educate them into doing something different that will help them save time and help them save money in the long run. But that's the problem with having at the minute is client records, making sure they keep everything they should do in a manner that's both compliant with how HMRC wants it and in a way it's easy for them. But it's the same for every business. They've all got to keep records somewhere, and half of them keep them in plastic bags.
Crikey.
which is not as good as it should be.
I wonder how compatible plastic bags are with new legislation and keeping client data.
Not
Yeah.
compatible at all. Not compatible.
This is why people hire accountants.
But
please take care of all my records.
it is. They come into the year and say, "Here you go. Here's my bag of rubbish. Please sort it out."
Before we find out how you've resolved that issue, I'd just like to take a minute to let our community know about Entrepreneur Profs, where you can go and meet other entrepreneurs and learn from them, as well as find the tools that we recommend. Just go to entrepreneur.profs.biz. You can also join our free Entrepreneur Profs Facebook group. So you've discussed there, Daniel, about the difficulty with managing records and clients kind of needing to organise those, keep themselves compatible with legislation, and just make their lives a bit easier, which is what obviously technology and hiring people is all about, is making life a bit easier, quicker, a bit cheaper. How have you resolved that issue? And has there been any software or tools that has helped you to do that?
So at the minute, we are championing a program called Receipt Bank, which is an online app which integrates with the QuickBooks, where you basically take a picture of receipts, it analyzes it out for you, it puts it in the right places, and you can throw the receipt away. That's the key thing. You no longer have to keep any records at all in a physical form. These digital copies are now acceptable by HMRC. They're fully making tax digital compliant, and they make our life easier because all the records are stored. You can do it as you go along. There's no massive piles at the year end, and it just saves time and hassle. You have a invoice that you've lost somewhere along the way.
Sounds like a really good system. Just snap a picture, let it upload, and you guys do the rest. It's
surprisingly easy. Everyone carries one of these things around nowadays. Everyone has a phone they use. You just download an app, take a picture of it, and you can literally do it when you're sat in Costa. When you've ordered your coffee, you take a picture of it and just throw the receipt away.
That's surely got to be an easier and cheaper way than kind of paying you to go through plastic bags.
Yes, we have a version of the app that we can give to clients for free, and that's certainly cheaper than my hourly rate, having to go for a plastic bag. But if people want us to do that, we're happy to do it. Don't get me wrong, it pays the bills at the end of the day, but if we want to save clients money, be it tax or expenses, we need to have a better way of doing it, and Receipt Bank enables us to do that.
Yeah, it's just a very good example of how technology can help us kind of do things quicker, do things cheaper. Yeah. It's not that you won't do things, it's just a really good way to kind of automate a process with a computer that we all carry around in our pockets.
We do. We've all got them, and the amount of automation in the accounting world is astronomical recently. QuickBooks are striving forward, Xero are doing the same. They're making parts of my job redundant because everyone's got it on their phone. But you have to move with the times. You got to, what's the word I'm looking for? Innovate. Use what's there to your advantage.
Hopefully it leaves you with those little jobs that you enjoy doing rather than the little jobs that you don't.
It means we get to do more advisory role. We can look at what's going on in the year rather than after the year. So we do cash flow projections, business plans, just to see where people are going with the businesses, rather than just reporting on after the year and giving them a tax bill, which no one wants.
No. It's really important, actually, what you've picked up on there. So a lot of people kind of see accounting as just a mandatory recording. But actually, numbers are a great map, aren't they? Like, if you look at the numbers, you know what you need to be doing, where your income's coming on, which then leads on to your marketing. Well, where do I start marketing? What products doing best? And actually, I think people miss a trick there when they don't use numbers as a map for the business, but more as a
scary.
Mandatory recording.
When you're self-employed, or when you look for a job, one of the first things you look for is the salary. How much am I going to get paid for doing this job? But when you're self-employed, those just go out the window. People just don't know how much they're going to get from month to month, which is scary, really. It's your livelihood. Why would you not know what you're bringing in every month? Why would you not know your pipeline?
Got to know your numbers. Number one thing in business.
It is.
So, going on from that, what would be your top tip for someone getting started with their finances?
Top tip is to keep it all separate. If you're self-employed, make sure you have a self-employed business account, whether it's a personal one you're just using for your business or a proper business account from a bank. Just keep it separate. Because when we're doing the end of year, we don't want to see what you're spending your money on at weekends. We just want to know what the business is spending money on, and pay yourself a wage from that business account. Know how much you need to survive every month, and make sure you pay that amount into your business account from your business to your personal, like you would do if you're employed.
There's some great apps as well to do that. So I use an app called Starling, and within there you can set up a personal bank, a sole trader, or a business account.
Yeah.
Depending on obviously your legal status.
Yes.
And you can just flip between the bank accounts within the same app, which is absolutely great, because normally with some of the mainstream banks you kind of need separate apps for different accounts, and it doesn't work. So Starling's really good, and it's free as well, actually. So
we use Starling for one of our businesses, and we recommend to our clients to use Starling. And thankfully, the integration from Starling to QuickBooks is in the pipeline, so there isn't any downloading of CSVs involved. It will speak to each other, and it's an interesting time, and it's free. Why would you not take advantage of it?
Open banking is becoming a bigger thing now. Actually, there's so much stuff where you can actually link your bank to it. I like data and analytics, so I use a thing called Money Dashboard to manage all my personal finances. And you can just link all your bank accounts to it, and there's so much stuff that you can do that with now.
There is. I use Plum on my mobile phone. It sends me a message every morning. This is how much you got in your bank account. Would you like to save some money today? Oh, yes, please. I'd like to save some money into my savings account, and just keeps track of it all for you without having to worry about it. We're all living busy lives. We don't have time to save for anything particularly, but these sort of enable you to do so at the touch of a button.
It's all about getting your money to work a bit smarter for you.
It is.
So you've talked a little bit there on QuickBooks and Receipt Bank. What is your favourite software or tool that you would recommend?
It was definitely
mentioned.
Well, it's definitely QuickBooks. I'm afraid I can't install enough how great it is, and having that information at your fingertips. You say our job is moving away from the recording of last year to helping within the year and making sure you have enough money to live off, basically. And apps like QuickBooks are there to help us do that job for you. You can know your debtors and creditors at a touch of a button, your bank accounts, how much tax you need to pay. It's just great. If we had that years ago, it would save so many people problems nowadays. They just need to get on it and take advantage of it whilst they can. It's going to be mandatory eventually, so you might as well jump on board now.
Well, that's it before all the big fines kick in. I wish it was around years ago. When I first started as a bookkeeper at 17, we used to use the big red books with the little tiny boxes.
Yep.
And have to just record data in these big books.
Well, it's gone from those big red books to Excel, and it's now gone to these more intuitive and automated softwares.
I wonder what's next.
Robots, apparently. I was at the QuickBooks Connect conference on last Monday and Tuesday, and there's going to be a lot more robotics AI involved.
Right. So trying to predict what's happening with finance.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. That'll definitely be interesting.
It certainly will be. I'm not sure how many accountants are going to embrace it or run away from it, but you've got to embrace it, otherwise you could be left behind.
Is there a way that people can maybe connect with you as well?
Yes, we've got a Facebook page, D&K Accounting. I'm on LinkedIn, just search for Dan Edwards. We have our own website, which is dkaccs.co.uk. We do guest blogs on there, blogs about the Make Attach Digital, such things. But yeah, we're all over Facebook at the minute.
If you're not aware of Tax Digital, I highly recommend that you do go and follow Dan and look at his website and learn a little bit more about making tax digital. Get yourself prepared for that. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast. I really appreciate that. It's a very good time to have an accountant on here with the end of the tax year and all the newer changes.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your time today. Remember to go check out our community and Facebook group. Go and A-Star your business today.